Dun, 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 dun.
The new legacy challenge.
Oh, are we live, my G's? Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Test. Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy, my man, talk to you shortly. What's happening? Xavier, I think we're live. We are live. Yes. The fam is back. Fantastic stuff. What's going on, G's? How was your weekend? Happy Easter to some of you guys. What's going on? Tony, my G, good to see you, Mario. V. Kumar, my friend, what's happening? Saifu, what's happening? Famchi, sorry. Paul Grigoro. Yosihanan, what's happening, my friend? Gerald, welcome back. Muhammad. Malinka. DJ, hey, you are at the right address, my friend. If you are a DJ, you are at the right spot. Trust me. I'm going to bring the vibes today. Yeah, I'm going to bring the freaking vibes today. Okay? Hope you guys are ready for a new week here. The market might be a little bit slower. I'm in a short position on gold right now. I just actually entered an hour ago before the New York session already. Price is really slow, just so you know. We're in a gold short. We're going to talk about it right now. Just so you know already, I'm in a gold short. I'm targeting the London lows. All right. The Asian lows, if you can get there. We'll talk about it in a second. All right. What's happening, my friends? Good to see you all. We have a lot of things to discuss today. Today is episode 19 of the LTA, live trading, volume and order flow setup here. Episode 19 already. I hope you're liking the format so far. We have a lot of things to go over today. We need to prepare for this week. We need to make sure that we're fully aligned. We need to make sure that we understand what Trump is trying to do with us. Okay? A lot of things are happening. Okay, we have the NFP. So many things that we have to talk about. Okay? Hope you guys are doing well here. Press a 1 in the chat if you're ready for this week to crush it with us on the streams. And like I said before, I'm very, very freaking grateful for all you guys' support. If you guys can smash up that like button, you know, to support this channel, it's pretty much the only thing I'm asking from you, to smash up that freaking like. And then what I'm going to do is bring you the good freaking vibes. Welcome back, baby. Welcome back. I know you were waiting for this drop. Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. If you guys don't know me, my name is Lorenzo Corrado. I'm here hosting your session here. I'm your guest of today. Let's get to work. Let's do what we always do, and let's have a good time together and learn about the markets. A lifetime mastering this one skill. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. We have a lot of things to cover. Number one, like I said already at the beginning, we are in a short right now at the moment. I'll go over this here. I have some plans for the continuation plays. Let me explain. Let me go into deeper analysis here today. Here we have to go to a lot of things right now at the moment here. Donald Trump tweeted yesterday. I'm not sure if you've seen it. Are you aware of this? I think you are, right? Press any yes in the chat if you know what this guy tweeted yesterday. I couldn't believe it. I actually couldn't believe it. I'm not joking. Okay, I really actually thought it was a joke when I read it. Okay, let me know, because it was madness when I saw it. I was like, there is no way that this guy actually tweets that. Okay. President Trump just posted this on Truth Social. Tuesday will be the power plant day. That's tomorrow, by the way. And Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the strike, you crazy bastard, or you will be living in, just watch, President Donald J. Trump. Holy moly. I was like, there is no way that this guy actually did that. Actually said that. I was like, nah, this is AI. This is fake. Has to be fake. No chance. So I go to Truth Social, and it's right there. It's right there. Okay? So anyways, extremely interesting information. I never expected this to be posted from my president. That's my personal opinion here. But at the same time, you know, we have to also understand that this happened in the weekend during the Easters, right? When everything was pretty much closed. Obviously, it happened in the weekend here. This is the first day that the market actually opened up. Okay, the market opened up here today, finally. But we had a very slow start of the market right now, right? We had the, of course, the Easter holiday here. Look at that. Pretty much whole Europe was closed, as well as Asia, right? We had the Qingming Festival in China, right? So something like that also could be taken consideration as well here. The New York Stock Exchange is open, I believe. The New York session will be as usual, as far as I understand right now. But yeah, you never really know exactly what will happen here. Tomorrow we are back to regular trading sessions again, okay? And also for the people that celebrated Easter, congratulations. Let's get back to work right now. We have a lot of things to do here. Now, besides that, what kind of news did we have, G's? What kind of news did we have on a Friday or something? We had the NFP, right? When the market was closed. So this is something that we have to talk about as well here. The NFP, okay? Because these numbers came out extremely positive, okay? And when I say extremely positive, they came out very, very good, actually. And this is something important for us to take in consideration for the dollar, okay? So 178,000 new employments with a forecast of 65,000, okay? That is significantly better. The last time that we actually were above the 150, I believe, was somewhere in April 2025. So that's pretty much a year later, okay? That's a year later. You can actually see right now that these numbers came out much better than expected. Okay, so it's a combination of Trump tweeting some crazy shit with a very positive news outcome from the non-farm payrolls. And you guys know probably already how important this data actually is for the US economy, or you could better say also for the dollar. It's all connected to the US economy, right? So this is something that we have to really pay attention to right now. How will the dollar develop here? I'm not saying the dollar looks really strong, to be honest. Okay, if I look at the dollar on the lower time frame, I'm not convinced that this looks very strong right now. Okay, but right here at this current moment, you know, the fact that he's so aggressive, you know, allowed me to think that oil usually tends to push aggressively higher, same as the dollar. We haven't really seen that though. Okay, but we have no clue what will happen when the New York Stock Exchange today opens up in 1 hour from now, as well as when the regular market comes back to work, pretty much, right? So we can't really see, based around the open today, if this is the actual outcome of what has been said or what has been done or whatever the freaking case may be here. So we're trying to understand a little bit better what's going on here. Okay, we will be going over the higher time frame. We will also be going deeper into gold, of course, on the higher time frame, because this is what we trade. But in order to get there, guys, we have to follow up with a very clear process that we follow, right? And that process is, of course, what we call our hybrid trading system. Okay, this is something that we are building, or that we have built already a long time ago, and that we're now utilizing on the streams. Okay, and this is something that we have been working with now a lot. Okay, it's simply something like this. Yeah, we do a quick correlation check, and we move to the chart on the dollar. Then we go to the footprint on the different assets, and that leads us to gold, and gold leads us to the 50-minute time frame or the 5-minute time frame, and then we look for an execution, right, with the volume profile, etc., here. That is pretty much our strategy that we utilize on the streams. A lot of you guys have been asking about it, messaging me about it, like, yo, can I learn about this? Where can I learn about this? How can I get access to some of the tools? You name it. I'm gonna come with something very interesting in the next coming days ahead of us here. So really pay attention to your email. If you have received the ebook and you signed up for the email, we'll send you a couple of emails in the next coming days here. Also some value, right? To just help you out with your day-to-day trading as well here. I think it's great to send you some updates outside of the streams as well, in case you are already subscribed. If not, and you want to subscribe here and you want to get access to an incredible book, have you guys, or some of you guys, been reading this book already? Let me know. Have you guys been reading this book? You have access to this for free, right? We ask you guys in the weekend, if you have time, go through it, read it. You don't have to read the whole book. At least go to section 1, the volume profile, right? Because this is what we utilize a lot on the streams when we execute the trade here. Okay? Now, this is very important. I want you to learn about this here. It is not the exact system that we apply on the charts. It's the framework. It's the understanding of the market. This will help you tremendously with understanding how the market actually operates, okay? The deeper layers, it's my life path, it's my career, it's my journey. It's everything written in one book, compromised for you guys here, so you could actually quickly go to that information and get a good understanding of how we view the markets, how I view, you know, my overall perspective of the markets, and yeah, how I eventually created an actual trading system out of that book. Okay, that's kind of the reason why here. If you want to access it, you can click on the link in the description. You can also simply go to ltaconcepts.io. If you want to, you can also click on the link right here. It's #ebook. Then a link will pop up and you can click on it, fill up your email and get my free book, and you'll have it. And that's pretty much it. That's the only thing that you have to do. And that's it, Jis. All right, cool. Let's go over gold here. Like I said at the beginning, I'm short right now. I'm looking to target potentially, right, the London and the Asian lows. And I hope we actually will get there. Oil looks pretty decent. Okay, the dollar looks okay, right? The dollar is pushing higher. It's kind of respecting this trend for now, right? For now, it could break down, but for now we're holding, okay? And at the same time, if you go here to the 10-year yield, the 10-year yield opened very, very strong, okay? That's something that we have to take in consideration here, because if the 10-year yield opens strong, look at that huge opening gap, okay? The dollar tends to follow later on. The dollar tends to follow, okay? So if the yield opens strong, the dollar tends to follow. I hope that makes sense here, okay? So the yield is actually the amount of money you earn upon holding bonds, right? The yield gives you a dividend every year, and therefore this is what a lot of big investors do that get out of the stock market. They buy dollars and they put it into the bond market, and they get a yield, a standard return on their money, and that's right now sitting at around 4.3%, okay? So this, of course, strengthens the dollar over time. I hope that makes sense. So this is why we look at the yield as well here, okay? Now, then we have the bond market. The bond market itself is the opposite of the yield. It looks a little bit weaker, okay? And then we go to the euro, all right? Let's look at the euro here. The euro is not strong, it's not weak, it's kind of neutral right now at this current moment, but it is dropping, okay? It is dropping right around here at this current moment, okay? The euro is dropping, and if the euro is dropping, guess what will happen to gold, right? It's a combination of the dollar rising, the euro dropping, the yield rising, the bonds dropping, which allows to have a very clean bias on gold here. And this is why I entered a short position right here. At the same time, we are relatively overvalued on the 30-minute. On the 50-minute, we're getting to an undervaluation very, very soon here. So in my opinion, what could be a good target, hopefully, is to get to the London lows here, okay? Maybe down to the Asian lows, but I prefer the London lows. And then see where we are from a valuation standpoint, okay? And maybe that's the moment to get out of the trade and to see if we could get into, or look actually into potential longs again, right? So come down and then look for the bounce here, okay? In my opinion, the quick question of today is gonna be, are we gonna break out today, out of this range on gold, all right? Or are we simply gonna stay in that channel, okay? This is the channel we're currently seeing right now on gold here, right? We are kind of in a larger range right now, okay? We are kind of trying to break out, but we're failing and we're pushing down here. So if we get here or we get a bit lower, is there a chance that we get undervalued, right? And is there a chance that from that moment onwards, we could potentially find that support and then potentially get into a bounce trade, okay? A long ride around there. That's pretty much the overall thought process or idea behind this here. Okay, so let me go. We'll go over the higher time frame right now. Let's start on the higher time frame. Let's do a complete top-down analysis. And then I think we could get back to work and actually go from there and see if we could actually leverage that potential bounce or the potential bouncing trade right there. Okay, that is kind of the overall idea. If we can get there and then taking a buy somewhere lower again and expecting price to stay within the range today. Okay, so today I think we're going to be in what we call a balanced trading session. Right, balanced trading session. Okay, balanced trading session. What's happening, Sam? Welcome to the streams. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Ooh, look at that, by the way. That's a quick drop. Let's see if we can actually get to these London lows here. Let me mark out the London lows. So we have this already set. The London lows and then the Asian lows. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Stop loss break even. All right. Let's see if we can get there. Let me know if you guys are ready for the higher time frame top-down analysis. Type in a 1 in the chat. And then we're going to talk about the next steps for gold here, okay? That is overall the idea, the thought process right now. What is going to be the next step for Goldie from that moment onwards? And what do we stand now with like Trump speaking, you know, with all of these layers here? How do we get to our conclusion for potential weekly buys, okay? And I just want to say something very, very clear. We have something called a weekly bias, but we also have something called a session bias or a daily bias and a session bias. Okay, there are 3 different biases we will have to look at. A weekly bias is just pretty much the expectation if the next weekly candle will close higher or lower. Okay, the daily bias is pretty much if the next daily candle will close higher or lower, right? Will we close higher or lower from the Asian session onwards? And then the session bias, okay, is potentially the bias where we look at potential reversals, where we like, okay, we have already taken out the highs, we might drop now, okay? So I just want to be clear that what I've learned over time is that someone that tells you you need to look for your daily bias is not always correct, okay? Because your daily bias can be true, but when talking about trading, like let's say on the 15-minute time frame or whatever the case may be, right? It could easily be that the daily bias already played out and that we're simply looking for a pullback trade, right? I hope that makes sense here. So it could be that we're actually also going to reverse, and therefore I'm never excluding longs or shorts regardless here. And this is why what I call a session bias is actually the most interesting for us on streams to talk about, okay? But regardless, let's go over it right now and let's see if we can actually find somewhat of a reversal here, a reaction here that gives us some insights in what's going on here. So the best way is to pretty much start on the higher time frame right now, okay? And actually start all the way at the monthly, because I think it's important to pay attention to the monthly time frame right now and see where we are. So number 1, I'm gonna go to the gold chart, by the way, see where we at, okay? You can actually see on the monthly time frame right now, guys, that we are in that monthly resistance here, that 48.04 on gold spot, all right? Which is roughly speaking the 48.30, okay? on gold futures is that area of resistance right now. You could see that when the monthly candle tapped into that resistance here, we actually flipped bearish, okay? That is something that happened on the monthly candle right now. We're roughly speaking, what? 6 days in right now, right? So we can see actually that the monthly candle held as resistance right there. You can actually see this is also weekly resistance right here. So the 48.04 on spot and the 48.30 is a very important level for us to pay attention to regardless here. So I'm going to mark this out as a weekly level, okay? Also right here, I'm going to mark this out as a weekly level right here, okay? If we go to the weekly, I don't think the weekly candle looks really bearish. And we can actually look at the weekly candle in a second here on the footprint chart. Let's actually do this. You can actually see that the weekly candle is so far is actually holding up really well, okay? Now, if we go to the actual orders here and we look at the weekly candle the previous week, or sorry, the week before that, you can actually see that we saw a lot of trapped sellers being stuck at the 4425, which is roughly the 4390 or the 4395 on spot, okay? That is a major level. That's also a major area of support right there. And this is a level that we have to pay attention to for later, okay? It's not important for today, but that is a level that we know has a lot of trapped sellers. So if that happens in a weekly candle, you can already see by default that if you get there at some point, that this will be a major area, okay? But that is the weekly. But that's not really important here, okay? Right now, you can see that sellers are trying to step in here. They're trying to push price further down at this current moment here. We actually closed exactly where some of these sellers stepped in. Now, let's go to the daily here and look at this, okay? Let's mark out all our boxes. You guys know we love our boxes. We freaking love our boxes. You can actually see that our, let's see, which day is this? This is Monday. This is Friday. Sorry, this is Friday. This is Thursday. No. This is Thursday. This is Wednesday. This is Tuesday. And this is Friday, okay? We tapped into the zone. And this is now a major area of resistance right here, okay? This red box right here that we look at is actually a major area, which is sitting at 4720 on spot and 4750 on futures, okay? So this is already resistance right now. We're seeing sellers are stepping in here. You can actually see that also from a Thursday or from a Wednesday. We are also in that resistance right now. So the daily is not that super clear, but you can definitely see that sellers are coming back into the market right now, okay? Now, let's have a look at the 4-hour, the footprint chart on the 4-hour time frame on gold. Look at that. This is where things matter, okay? This is important. And the reason why I'm saying that this is important is because if you draw out, guys, this box, okay? We guys have been talking about it a long time already, many times over. If you're new to the stream, you will learn about the footprint chart on gold and on the higher time frame. Before we drop to the 15-minute and actually look for trades, executions, right? We need to understand the higher time frame. You can actually see that we are in a major area of resistance on the 4-hour time frame right here. So we had this 4-hour zone where sellers took control. We tapped into it. Buyers got trapped here. Sellers took control, okay? Price came down. Price came back up. Again, buyers stepped in, couldn't continue. Sellers took control right now. This is the candle that we're currently in, right? So this is kind of where we are right now at the moment. We are now in that resistance of the 4-hour, okay? We are in a 4-hour area of resistance right now on the footprint chart on gold here. So sellers are trying to push price down here. Now, on the 1 hour, it's maybe even more clear. Sellers came in, right? Sellers started to drop price, and we created our latest box right there, and price tapped into our sellers, and then it got rejected. It reversed again, okay? So right now, we have found some support here. Okay, this is on the 1 hour. This is the 1 hour candle. We're going to go to the candlestick chart in a second. Okay, but you can see that right now we have indeed found some support here at this current moment. So I need to start managing my trade. That's why I put my stop loss on break even. We are also at the 15-minute VWAP right now. So it could be that we actually find some support right around this level already. Okay, I prefer gold to drop down a little bit more, to be honest with you guys, for a long. But it could be that we find that support here. So it's very important for me to actually manage my trade accordingly, okay? So if you go here to the 4-hour, right now at the moment on the chart, we are still trending upwards. So there is definitely some momentum still. We haven't really broken that overall trend. It doesn't really look that weak if you look at it from the 4-hour perspective, okay? But at the same time, if you draw this overall range, you can actually see how important this overall rejection is as well here. So we're kind of compressing right now. And this means that within the next, like, you could say 2 days or tomorrow, funny enough, when Trump, quote unquote, is going to do something in Iran, we might see a compression. We might see the breakout. We might see an actual breakout right here on gold, okay? All right? I hope that makes sense. But this is right now what we're seeing here. We're working towards a climax. Are we going to break down the lows? Are we going to break out of that trend here? Okay, we're no trend line traders whatsoever. But I can see that we are compressing right now. We might break out very, very soon here, okay? So that's kind of the thought process of like, we might be actually breaking out right around there, okay? So overall, the conclusion is, with the dollar right now, the dollar is not per definition very, very strong. What I think is going to happen eventually is that the dollar still can come down here, okay? Gold might retrace up, all right? That's why I'm still interested in buying. But eventually, the dollar will find that higher time frame support. We might bounce. We continue to go higher. And then gold will potentially come down again, okay? I'm not that optimistic at the moment for gold at this current moment. And another reason for that is, if we go to the gold chart here on the daily, and we open the COT data, there is a whole section that we talk about, and that is called the COT data right here. Okay, I hope you guys are familiar with this. If not, you can read it in the ebook as well. We talk about our COT data. This is also an indicator that I created for you guys, which is completely free right here. It's called the LTA Concepts, Non-Commercials Large Speculators, okay? Or the LTA Concept COT, Commitment of Traders. You can actually get this indicator completely for free, okay? It's in the chat here. If you type in Commitment of Traders, you will find my indicator. It's one of the top COT indicators on TradingView. And you can actually see that the large speculators, the big institutional traders, closed a significant amount of long positions in between the 24th of March and the 31st of March as well here, okay? So when price was actually coming up here, this is the 24th and this is the 31st. We came up, price came up. But what the large speculators did, right, the institutional traders, the banks, etc., they actually closed down 13,000 long contracts, okay? They also closed down shorts, but more longs than shorts were closed right there. So this is something important to pay attention to right now, okay? There is some profit taking happening right now on the gold chart from an institutional perspective, okay? So right now, we're going to take this down a little bit lower, and we're going to get towards our point of interest right now, right? Because we're clearly in a short position. We already talked about this right here. Okay, I'm currently, roughly speaking, up around, you could say, how many is this? 25 points, so that's 240 pips, something like that here. And, you know, we're trying to see if the dollar is willing to actually, if gold is willing to actually take out the London lows today, okay? Because we opened up, we can actually see here that the London highs were taken out, the New York highs from Thursday were taken out, and then the reversal started, okay? So the reversal actually started after we took out the New York highs of Thursday, and that's when we actually came down here. Now, like I said before, this could be already the bounce. We could be bouncing bullish here, okay? The reason why I'm saying this is because it might be that right now, at the VWAP, at this hourly, we are actually seeing some support being created here and some buyers stepping in right now. So I actually think it might be a good moment to maybe close the trade and look for a re-entry if needed. Because I can also see that the dollar is dropping right now. Oil is dropping right now, okay? The euro is pushing up. The yield is coming down. The bonds are pushing up, okay? And we are at the VWAP on gold right now, okay? So I think I'm just going to close the trade, guys. Quick scalp. Let's see if we can actually hold on to it. Let me give me one more confirmation. I want to see if there's one more confirmation here. Let me see if we can get into this area and see how price reacts. Give me 1 second. I actually think we are closing it right here because it seems to be that we're finding support right now and the whole market is reversing. Let's see. Let's see how price responds around this level right now. We're right in a lower time frame zone here. Just very curious to see how price responds. Where do we close this freaking candle on the 5 minute? Nomad says Trump news soon. It's not on Forex Factory. Okay. Is that so? Is that so? Okay. So interesting actually where we are right now. We're at a very interesting spot right now. Both on the euro, on the dollar. So interesting actually. It's holding up well, but at the same time, we have major resistance soon again. Let's see how we develop here. Trump is in the hospital. Is that really? I didn't know that. I don't think so. Is that true? Or is it just a rumor? Who said this? A lot of shit gets thrown around on social media, right? Do take that in consideration, okay? Just so you know. You know, some people, man, they like just throw something out that goes freaking viral, right? Goes freaking viral. And then it's like, oh, Trump is dead. I mean, what? What are you talking about, man? That would be absolutely mental, by the way. But anyways. Yeah, anyways, I'll just keep a close eye on Goldie right now. Let's see where we are. We're still close below that resistance. Okay. How was your weekend, guys? What did you guys do this weekend? We have a long week ahead of us here. A lot of trading this week. A lot of training this week. Okay, you guys have been constantly asking about the Asia session. I'm very tempted. I'm telling you already. I'm very tempted to stream the Asia session too here. Not now, of course, because China is on holidays. But if China is fully back, you know what I mean? If China is fully back, then, you know... I might actually stream the Asia session. Maybe I do another. Maybe I do 2 sessions for a while. See how it goes. I'm more motivated and more disciplined than ever before. Ever before. Manus is hiding Easter eggs. Oh, Minus is hiding Easter eggs. Okay. Nice. Easter with family. Waited on the market to open. Yeah, story of my life. Story of my life. No, I actually had a pretty good weekend, man. I went to the spa. I worked on a lot of things behind the scenes in our in the group. I've been working on a couple layers here. Recorded an epic video. Yeah, man. A lot of things are coming. Okay. Yeah, as long as we stay below, you know, the 5 minute, as long as we stay below that zone, you know, I'm kind of content here with my stops on break even. I'm kind of still want to evaluate it. I'm not really actually, I don't really care about closing the trade, to be really honest with you, because I just see how much more. Also on the euro, right? How much more resistance we will have right here. What's the dollar doing? I mean, the dollar is coming down, but it's not like we're breaking, like we're closing below. If we close below that level here, I might flip my my bias, to be honest. But for now, let's see. Yeah, let's give it. Let's see. Hey, any reason why Google doesn't open a book? Yeah, we need to figure this out. I need to figure this out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, but pay close attention to the book then, or the link. If not, we'll send you an updated link later on. Okay? But it should be a Dropbox link, okay? It should be a link on Dropbox right now. That's all I'm saying. It should be a Dropbox link. Yeah. So what about the system? What is the reason for this entry, right? Number one, right? We were overvalued right here. And every time when we're overvalued, I take it extremely serious, okay? Extremely serious. Because right now I'm more bearish biased on gold than bullish biased in the medium term, like on the higher time frame. So automatically when I'm more bearish biased, I also look more at the overvaluation against the dollar, okay? Now this is a tool that I created. It's called the Stealth Valuation Index, and I put it against the dollar. So I type in dollar index, and then it shows me kind of the RSI, but it's not really an RSI, okay? It's actually just a valuation tool that measures gold against the dollar. And every time when we're overextended, right there, okay, we tend to do what? We tend to create short-term tops. Short-term, that's it. Not trend reversals, okay? Short-term tops in the market. Look at that. Look at that beautiful top right here. Look at the top right here. Look at this top for a couple hours, right? Right here, top, couple hours. Right here, right? Top. Oh, top, couple hours. Came down. Right there. Look at that, man. Every freaking time, right? The accuracy is crazy. So therefore, when I use this, I use it in conjunction with a complete process, a complete system that I developed, which is extremely valuable and extremely accurate. But you need patience, you need to be committed, you need to be disciplined, and you need to understand how that actual step-by-step process works from the higher to the lower time frame. And you can get into really, really good entries in all types of market conditions, optimized for gold on the 50-minute and on the 5-minute time frame, okay? For the 50-minute and the 5-minute. Now, sometimes it doesn't reach the overvaluation, but you can still see, right, whenever we get to an overvaluation here, or close to it, you know, we already see price struggling. If it happens, I still enter shorts, right? If this makes sense, I also tend to align it with the volume profile as well here. We have a major level, and I wanted to see a reaction around this, preferably a wick, and then getting into the wick and then close below the volume profile, the point of control, and actually then use this as my safeguard, right? So once we close below this, I felt very confident about the setup, for example. And yeah, that system works. It's proven right now already for a while. And then sometimes we use the footprint chart to manage the trade and to see if sellers are in control, if buyers are in control, if I should close the trade, if I should go on break even and leave it running, if I should scale into a trade, right? All of these things right there. Rob Gamat says, is this really live? I mean, why wouldn't this be really live, my friend? No, this is pre-recorded. I'm pre-recording a 3-hour live stream. It's not the same. Maybe you're looking at the gold spot chart. Maybe that's the one you're looking at, the 4677. Okay, we're looking at the futures chart here. Maybe that's the reason. All right, that might be the reason behind why. So I marked out this 5-minute zone, right? This major area where sellers took control here, where we dropped with a very negative delta. Not negative delta, sorry, with a strong candle closure, and then clearly forming that resistance right now. But we cannot neglect that we're bouncing off the VWAP right here on the futures, sorry, on the session VWAP right here, sorry. So we might bounce. We might actually bounce here. So we might actually come up again, to be honest. But yeah. Stop loss is secured. I'm just observing right now what gold does around this level. The dollar is not looking that strong at the moment. So is oil. But we're not, you know, we're not following through either, right? We're not really following through either. Oil is holding up quite well. Dollar as well. But yeah, let's see. Why do you actually could buy stop? Okay, good question. So if I take a sell entry, all right, which is a sell limit, and it gets activated, the only way on futures you can get out of the trade is by placing a buy stop, right? Because if you want to buy, if you are in a sell, then someone has to buy it from you to get out. That's how the markets works, right? So if you are in a sell, someone has to buy it from you. If you are in a buy, someone has to sell it to you. Okay? That's how it works. So if you enter on a buy limit and price comes down, then you need to get out on a sell stop. Okay? Vice versa. For example, if you're in a sell limit and price comes down and you're in profit, you can place a buy stop at your entry or a buy limit right here, a buy limit at your take profit point. Okay? I hope that makes sense, my friends. Good question, though. I think a lot of people are confused about this, so thank you for letting me know, because it makes sense. So what I want to see is I want to see Goldie dropping, and I want to take out the London lows, get out of my trade, and then potentially buy. But I hope there's volume, man. I want to see volume. And if gold drops right here, or sorry, continues to go higher, I will observe pretty much what gold can do here. Like on the 5 minute, we came from an undervaluation as well, right? So this is why we are bouncing. But we're still, right? We're still not really pushing hard. I don't know, we'll see. Why isn't that like that on the CFD? Actually, it's the same thing on the CFDs. You also can place buy stops, right? The only thing with CFDs is that you don't get out of the trade. You just hold multiple positions at the same time. With futures, you cannot. It turns it all into one trade, one position. Yeah. So a lot of people expected a bit of a slower day today. I think it makes sense. I mean, it's Eastern, right? The bank holidays are still active, or the holidays in general. In London session, Asian session. Tomorrow we should be fully back, man. Tomorrow we should be fully back to regular trading hours and regular trading volume, hopefully. Yeah. Can we enter a sell? I think right now I would be patient here. I think the better opportunities are either price pulls back and we'll look for a new entry, or price breaks down and we actually take out some of the lows here and we look at some sort of bullish confirmation again for a bounce. Because my question today is, will we actually break out of the range? And as far as what I'm seeing now, it might actually be that we stay in the range today. So we just stay in this, like, how do you call this? Right? This like channel, you know what I mean? Like that parallel channel. So like pretty much like this. Where is it? You know, something like this, you know what I mean? How do you do that? Like that, you know what I mean? Something like that. Could we just stay in the range today? Right, get back in it, etc. That's kind of what I'm thinking about here. I'm not really sure if we can actually break out today. You need a lot of volume, and the market seems to be a bit more on the slower side, right? So I'm not really 100% sure we can actually do that, but yeah, we'll keep a close eye on it. I prefer to stay in the range today, to be honest with you guys. I prefer it. Because that means that if we come down and we go to the London lows, that we can actually look for a bounce. Actually look for a long. Kaiser says hello. Good to be here. Welcome. Much love from Chicago. Good morning, my G. Are you in the US? No, I'm currently in Bali, man. I'm on the other side of the world. That's how beautiful this trading game is, or this YouTube streaming game. We can you can be in Chicago and I can be here in Bali, and we can still trade together. Yes. So how is this month going for you guys so far? It's just the first week of April. Let me know. A lot of guys are still on work, or they're now off. Maybe they have some holiday today, but tomorrow they have to go back to work. So, you know, I'll make sure the tunes are there, the vibes are there. I'll fill up your morning, your afternoon. Don't worry about that. Nothing is happening though. In terms of volume right now, not really a lot is popping. Yeah. Trader Academy, crazy how convenient these headlines is with bottoms and tops. Senior White House official planned for a 45-day ceasefire between the US and Iran is one of the several ideas currently being discussed. Oh yeah, right. Okay. Man, I don't understand. I don't get it. I think that's the whole point. Honestly, I think that's the whole point. The whole point is to just make us freaking confused. Up and down and attack Iran. No, ceasefire. No, chilling. Anyways, we'll do our thing, man. We have our system. We have our trading strategy. We have our bias. We have our beautiful order flow chart. We'll figure it out. We'll do our thing, G's. Don't worry about that. We'll figure it out ourselves then. Okay? Can Trumpy mess it up sometimes? Sure. Do we care? Not really. We don't really care. Do you stream every day? Yes, I'm here every day, 5 days a week. Of course, if there's a bank holiday like Friday when there was no market, the futures market was closed, I cannot really do anything. But for the rest, I will be here every day. Yes, sir. So you can turn me on when you're working, when you're not working. And I hope you learned something, man. We're doing our best here to just showcase my daily journey. My daily trades, my daily journey, the ups, the downs, the reality of trading. Talking about a trading system I've developed for gold. I only trade gold at the moment. I've decided to isolate myself in these markets right now and to just focus on one asset. And that asset is gold. And I like it. I like it a lot so far. We're really enjoying it. Anga says, hi, I'm from Romania working. Nice. You know, one of my favorite songs is a Romanian song. One of my favorite songs is a Romanian song. Yeah. Can't wait to show you one day and dance. Love that. Love the Romanian vibes. Would love to meet you one day. Yo, I had some people here in Bali today and a couple days ago. They came to me, hey Lorenzo, yo man, I love your streams. I'm like, whoa, holy shit. Holy shit, that's happening. I'm like, wow. The streams are back. That's for sure. Yeah, that's awesome. It was really awesome to meet some of you guys on the stream, by the way. Or outside of the streams. It's very cool, actually. And what I really liked was that guy came to me in the gym. He said, yo, I read your ebook. I downloaded your book, watch your streams, download your ebook. And I love page number X. I don't even remember which number it was, but I love this page number where he talked about this and that. I'm like, wow, this guy actually read it. He actually read it. That's awesome. Okay, 2 minutes for the hourly candle closure. So the hourly candle looks relatively neutral right now. I'm not saying it looks weak though. Even though you might think it looks weak, there's a lot of selling here. but it's not really looking. It's not looking super weak. I mean, it's like in the middle. The 50-minute is still struggling though. Okay, so I'll stick with the 15 right now. Thousands Bali is a big flex. I'm waiting for sweep, then short on the euro, but I want to learn gold. Okay, nice. Hi Lorenzo, happy Easter. Cheers, man. Classes, I've been reading the LT ebook. It helps a lot in trading. Learning journey. Thank you for keeping it for free. Of course, this is the whole point. You know, it's just to showcase what I've done, what I've studied. So it should be free. Okay? Hi Lorenzo, do you tell us the trades you make and provide signals? Well, I trade live, right? And sometimes I'm in the trade before, sometimes not. Sometimes I trade at the moment. Thursday we traded live, right away. We shorted it quickly. We had a nice scalp on it Thursday. It was a nice clean trade. So yes, you could say so. But I'm always saying, yo, you can trade with me. You can obviously do what I do, right? But I want you to at least understand why. Because if you don't really understand the reasoning, then you don't feel responsible. And I think that the number one thing in trading is to take your own responsibility. All right? If I take a trade, right? And I lose a trade, which happens sometimes, right? Everyone loses trades, everyone wins trades, loses trades, right? And you start blaming me for it. I'm like, bro, that's such a weak mindset, bro. That is the weakest mindset ever. That's zero responsibility, right? It's like, it's ridiculous. But if you take the trade with me and you win, right? You should also say, hey, okay, Lorenzo took the trade. You should also not really be thanking me either, because you took that own decision. You knew why I entered. You agreed with it. You understood the core principles behind the trade, and you realized, okay, it makes sense for me too. So it's your decision. Right? You should be proud of yourself, not on me. Yeah, and I always say, guys, if I have to, you know, if I lose a trade on stream, I have to watch the Titanic with my girlfriend. Yeah. My Romanian girlfriend. You know how many times I blew my account? But that's of me and not having a stop loss. Okay, yeah. I learned that. Well, I've learned that too. I learned the hard way like that too, my friend. So we've been there before. We've been there. We've been there. We've been there. Okay. Come on, G's. Come on, drop. Come back down to the VWAP one more time. Where's the volume, man? Where's the push? Give us something. Give us something. Hi, Lorenzo. Can you please show us how you did the setup with the correlation? That correlation. Okay, please show us how did you set up that correlation? Like, in what way, my friend? Let me know. Do you sell a course or is everything free? I mean, bro, like I said already so many times, like I'm kind of done with like selling courses and stuff. I don't like it from that perspective, because I realized, and I actually think about the fact that a course by itself, right, is something I would actually just not do. And the reason why is because I don't think that you can get everything out of a course. I truly don't. I think there are always questions that you have. You know, taking information from a video series or course just alone is usually very, very hard, because you need that guidance, right? You need someone that actually shows you it in real time, how you actually execute a setup, right? In a structured manner, preferably live, but also You know, just by consistently showing you that it works. Okay? And I think with like a course and stuff, it's very, very tough to do so. And I could make a course and sell it 1,000 times and make a lot of money. Right? I chose not to do that. So the only way I would do something is if it's for a very limited amount of people, and work with them for a couple weeks, go all in with them, and you know, talk with them, be with them, absolutely crush it with them, teach them an exact system, and go from there. And I'm talking about a handful, 10, 15 people. That's it, right? Something like that. But for the rest, man, just show up to the live streams every day, download the book, and you know, let's get to freaking work, man. Let's get to freaking work, right? I'm here. Your voice is very low. Is it still low? All right. Let me know. Let me know. Barris says tips for someone stuck around a 55 to 60% win percentage. Bro, I mean, if you have a 60% win rate, okay, like, that's good. If you have like the question is not what is your win rate, okay? The question is what is your win rate versus, right? Versus your risk to reward, okay? Let's say you make on each dollar $2, okay? So $1 in, $2 out, okay? $1 in, $2 out. Do you make money with a 60% win rate? Yes or no? Do you make money with a 60% win rate? Damn right you do that, okay? Damn right you'll make money with a 60% win rate. So the question should not be, is my win rate good enough, or how can I up my win rate? It's what is your win rate against the risk to reward. So for every dollar that you put into the market, what is the amount of money that you can get out of this? And if it's a 1 to 2, so $1 in, $2 out, you actually need only a 40% win rate, 40% win rate to break even. Okay? Sorry, a 33% win rate to break even. With a 40% win rate, you are profitable. Damn right. Okay? That means you can lose 7 out of 10 trades, practically still break even. So it's all about your risk to reward ratio, my friend. Okay? So win rate is kind of irrelevant by itself here. You can have a 60% win rate, but it means if you say, how can I up this? It usually means that your risk to reward ratio is not good enough to support that win rate. Okay? So you need to find the balance there. Yeah. Okay, I think we're still holding that 15-minute zone. Look at that, guys. We couldn't break above the footprint here. We couldn't break above this area of resistance. Sellers to control here. Buyers tried to step in here. Look at this green zone. They broke. They couldn't get there. Now a lot of sellers are coming in here. A lot of sellers are coming in right now. Look at that. 205 contracts on the spot. Boom. Right there, right? So this is why I said, like, as long as we stay below this, I prefer to hold on to my trade and not close the trade here. Okay? I'll close it when we reach the London lows. I'll close it when we're here. Once we're there and I reach my 4 to 1, okay? I can think about a reversal play. Or it could be from the Asian lows. And I look for buys again. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Gold seems to be a bit on the weaker side right now. The dollar is not strong, but gold seems to be weaker. Yeah. So what I can do right now, I can put my stop loss actually to 4710. Something like that. Just trail it, whatever. At least make something if you pull back. Yeah. Yeah, this is a very important moment though for gold. This is a very important zone for gold, sorry. But it definitely seems to be that gold has that support here a little bit. So I can't neglect that right now. But yeah. I don't want to break above the 710 because if you do so, I think we're going to move higher. So I think it makes sense to just keep the stop loss there and then we'll see what we do after that. Or if you come down, we'll look for I'll look for buys. I look for buys either here, or I look for buys either here. That's the idea. I'm predicting range trading today. Where's the music? Can you not hear the music? It's good that you guys are asking about the music. I mean, that's a positive sign. That's a good sign. Okay. Where's that song? Where's that song?
I need time, just a little more time. I need time. I need time, just a little more time. One more time, one more time. I need time, just a little more time. I need time.
I would like to remind you, you promised your playlist. Yes. I just need time, bro. Okay, a little bit more time. A little bit more time. I'm at 91 tracks right now. I need 9 more tracks for you guys. At least, like I said, 100 tracks. Then I go to Spotify and I'll put them on a Spotify playlist. Okay? I need 9 more tracks to complete it. And then I'm going to filter out some songs. I'm going to get some other songs in here. And then you can get access to this playlist here. You're going to love this when you put this on. If you're trading whatever, the London session or something. Or the Asian session. You're going to love this. You're going to love that. Okay? I need time, brother. Just a little bit more time. You don't like it? Okay. Then this one. Yo. Where is the volume, guys? Come on, baby. Give us something. Yeah, I want to hold this trade, but the longer I'm in this trade, the longer I'm like, man, like the voice in my left ear, right, is telling me like, yo, just close it. Just close the trade, man. Wait for another setup here. Look at that selling there. Why is price not pushing down at the VWAP? Where's the volume? There is no volume. What's going on? My voice is telling me, yo, close the freaking trade right now. Dun, 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 dun. We close this 50-minute candle in 2 minutes. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna close it, man. We have the market open in like 15 minutes too, you know? We have the market open. We have some news as well. later, which is okay. This is fine. We are we're just looking so weak. Look on the 5 minute though, right? Look on the 5 minute. Does this look weak? Oh, sorry. Does this look weak? I mean, it looks pretty weak to me, right? Let's see where we close this 50 minute. Yeah. My little voice. Okay, 4 hour. 4 hour is definitely struggling, man. The 4 hour looks like amazing to me, right? That's like amazing. Like when I see the 4 hour resistance, I'm like, hell yeah, that's a short. That's a clear short. We took the best short, in my opinion. That's not a question. The question right now is it wise to take profit? Is it wise to get out of the trade already? Because we're dealing with the market open soon. We're seeing that we are holding up above the VWAP here. Buyers are stepping in, sellers trying to break down price, but we couldn't close below that. A huge seller entered here, but the candle closed above that seller. So I'm like, that's a bit tricky. Look at the dollar as well. The dollar is still weaker. So interesting how gold is actually not reacting to that. The yield is pushing. The bonds are coming down again after tapping into resistance here. I think we're really neutral today. Very neutral. In this session, at least. Now, that 4 hour was really, really good. Like that short right there was very clear to me. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talk about the system with you guys more and more. Whenever you see it clearly on the streams, right? I will be executing this for the next months live. No matter where. If I'm traveling in Europe, if I'm going to be somewhere outside of Bali, for example, I'm traveling, I will still be streaming the New York session. I'm fully committed. So I could be in, you know, in Timbuktu. I'm still going to stream. All right, we close this candle. The 50 minute. 50 minutes for the New York Stock Exchange open here. Okay. Now, overall, I must say, there is definitely still a lot of weakness. I don't really see buyers stepping in here. Sellers to control there again. We couldn't close above this. So I'm marking out new boxes here. The 4702, I think, is our next zone. The 4702.3. So let's put it there. 0.3. Boom. And I'm just going to take it level by level right now. Why at the 4702.3 on futures? The reason why is because we have that amount of sellers right there on the 5 minute. And right above there could be the stop loss in profit. So if it gets there, it gets there. Right? If it doesn't get there and it tanks, which could happen, because I don't see buyers stepping in now, then I didn't waste an opportunity. And we can always get into a new trade. That's not really the issue. For a lot of people who are asking about this right here, okay, a lot of people are asking about this platform. It's called the Xau charts. These guys are making a shit ton of money. I'm not joking. Over me right now. I'm not getting anything for it. Because every day I see people signing up, telling me, yo, I just bought Xau charts, the order flow. Can I get your workspace? I'm saying here, sure, here's the link. And I export this, right? I can export my workspace right here. Boom. Gold deep analysis. From the euro to gold, the whole breakdown. Pretty much everything that I've been teaching. Right here. Okay. Pretty much everything I've been teaching, right? And then people, these guys are making a killing over me right now. I'm telling you. You guys need to send him an email. You're like, hey, yes, man. Lorenzo, he's sharing this stuff for free. He's trading with Xau charts every day. You need to do something. Yeah, anyways, we start off with the correlation check. We go to the dollar. We then go to the euro. Because if you want to understand the dollar, we want to understand the euro footprint chart. Because it's so strongly correlated, okay? The dollar and the euro are heavily correlated, like 90%, right? On average. 90%, okay? So if we understand the footprint chart on the euro, we can really understand the dollar very well for the day. It's very helpful. Now, the correlation between the euro and the bond market is also very strong, right? And then the yield as well here. So we can use this and then get to the gold footprint chart and the chart itself on the 4 hour. And then once that's clear, I go to the 1 hour closure, 4 hour closure. And then in that 4 hour, 1 hour closure, I go to the 5 and 50 minute and I look at the dollar and gold. That's why I have the gold on one side and I have the dollar on the other side. And then after that, it's about, are we overvalued or undervalued against the dollar? So I create my session bias, I prepare for my setup, and then I look at my execution, right? And I look at my key levels, I look at my valuation, and I look at the footprint for management of the trade right here. Trade management. Boom. Story of my life, G's. Work in progress. Powerful shit. Powerful shit, I'll tell you that. But Xau charts, man. You know what to do. You know what to do. Anyways. For me, it's fine. I don't really care. As long as we're here chilling. Is this the X feed from the CME? Yes. Comex, actually. Yes, CME. Okay, we're still dropping. You see that? We're still dropping. So this is what happens, right? My left voice. Boom. We're opening what? The market? No, not yet. This is what happens, right? The voice in my left says, Lorenzo, close the trade. Close the trade. It's time to close the trade. But objectively, it's about finding the right levels, putting your stop losses above it, and throw your stop loss, and that's it, right? Objectively, that's how you can turn it into an actual system. So the 2.3 is a good level. If that gets hit, then we'll move forward from there. What I want is I want to get down though. I really hope that we can get there. Actually, I really would love to see us getting down to the London lows. And then see if we can reverse. Yeah. Anyways, guys, we have roughly speaking 278 likes. Javi, sir, my man, welcome. Thank you to welcome to the channel, my friend. Hope you're doing well. We have around 274 likes, 280 likes. If we can get this up, guys, it will be extremely, extremely appreciated. Okay, we're doing these streams for free. We're really trying to give you as much value as content as possible. You know, we written a book for you as well here, so you can learn outside of the streams, and we'll show up for you here on a daily basis here. For me, what I want is I want to grow my channel. Okay, I want to make an impact. The only way to make an impact is by helping you guys, and also for that, I would love in return a like on each stream by default if you appreciate the content, of course. Because if you do that, then that will help tremendously, man. YouTube checks. This is how the algorithm works, okay? Likes matter, truly. So I appreciate this. Thank you. Oh man, we've been hanging around here for a while, hey? Danesh, welcome, my friend. Yeah, we're gonna get to our buy stop there. At least as far as it looks like right now. We know this level. We know it's an important level. We know it. We know it. But it looks pretty strong right now. We have this 5-minute closure in 10 seconds. Okay. All right, we closed above it though. We didn't close above our zone, but this looks pretty. This looks like a pretty strong reaction right now. It is the previous daily POC. Wow, that's actually completely correct. Funny that you say that. That is actually correct. If you mark out the previous daily levels, that's actually exactly the previous daily POC here. It's not the cleanest though, let's be honest. We're kind of holding it now as resistance here. If this drops, if this actually comes down here, then it's the ultimate proof that these levels matter. You know what I mean? Knowing exactly where to put your stop loss in like scenarios like these here to manage the trade. It would be crazy if this holds here and we actually break down. It would be crazy. Possible to play that old gold song that you used to play. Okay, man. For you. For you. Let's do it. Let's do it. Gold. 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 Man, this reminds me of the good old times, eh? Wow. The good old streams, the news trading. The news trading. That was heavy. That was heavy. What is the notepad that Lorenzo is using? It's called Excalidraw or Excalidraw. Excalidraw, sorry. Yeah. All right, baby. We have the New York Stock Exchange open. Well, most likely we're going to get, in my opinion, I think based around what I'm seeing here, we're going to get trilled out. We're going to get trilled out of our stop. Obviously in profit. But I always want to give it a try. Because you can see how it's struggling here, right? It's trying. The stop is there. It's pretty much right there. But it's struggling, right? It's kind of struggling. But based around this here, that huge buyer, seller trying to step in, buyers are coming in, price is respecting it. It could be that we might have a short-term bottom here. So I'm not gonna like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it for what it is there. And if it drops lower, then we'll find a long hopefully after that. That's my goal, to get into a long position after, to trade the bounce. London lows, Asian lows, like it doesn't really matter exactly where. We'll find some other levels as well here, like the key levels. We have, for example, the swing. Yeah, the 4656, so the 4625, I think, on spot. Because it's the point of control of the swing. Of the swing low to swing high. This is right below the London lows, right after the Asian lows, right before the Asian lows, right after the London lows. So somewhere around here, I'm looking to long if we can get there. If we can find like an opportunity in this box right here, somewhere around here. If we can come down, take out the Asian lows, and then come back and then form like a reversal. Sorry. Sorry for that. Moment of silence before the New York Stock Exchange open here. Oh, we have it now already. Okay, interesting. Why are we still in the trade? Why are we still in the trade? Where is the volume? Look at that zone, man. Wow. Look at how it almost stepped into the buy stop here. And it didn't tap into it. Damn. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Nah, it's gonna hit it. It's gonna hit it. It's gonna hit it. It's gonna, yeah, it's gonna hit it. Yeah. Buyers are pushing. Oh my God. How exciting. Yeah, come on. There is no way. There is no way. There is no way. There is no way. No way that this flips bearish. There is no way that this now flips bearish. Wow. Wow, talking about buy stops, please. Talking about stop loss placements here. Holy. Wow. Okay. Lorenzo, why do you prefer futures over spot? Well, this is why. This is why. Guarantee you I would have been stopped out with my CFD broke. Guaranteed I would be stopped out. Guaranteed. I would have been out of the trade. Wow. Okay. At least a couple minutes ago. Damn. It's all over the place, man. It's all over the place. Yeah, there are no spreads, right? That's the difference. There is slippage, but there are no spreads. And it's gonna go again. Now. Well, I can't believe how strong this zone is on the 5-minute here. I can't believe it. That's absolutely insane. How long do we have? A minute for this closure on the 5-minute. Wow. What is going on there? What's happening here? What is the dollar doing? The dollar is, not strong. So gold should be pushing harder, in my opinion. But it's kind of finding new support again. I mean, it's very, very hard to say here. Oil is... Oh, look at the oil. Okay. Look at oil right now. Oil is pushing hard. Okay. Oil is coming up again. And the yield as well. And the bonds are dropping. Yeah, the euro must be dropping too then. I mean, it's in resistance. Yeah, an interesting market again, guys, today. I'm not gonna lie. I know markets, I know correlations and sentiment right now. I've been studying this for a long time. It's one of those days. Bro, can we short sell now for a smaller target? I mean, I would not recommend it, but I'm not excluding. I'm not saying it will not get there. I don't, you know, it's up to you to decide this, man. Because you can see how the market right now is a little bit all over the place here. Keep in mind the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 15-minute candles are in the same place. We haven't even moved right here. Look at the 1 minute. Okay. If you're in a 1 minute range like that, I don't like to short it. I don't like to long it either. Okay. I'm looking for the expansions, right? I'm looking for these extremes right now. So if you can drop a bit more and I see some support getting formed, I'll buy, right? If we come up, right, and we take out the highs and we're still in the range, and I see that we're finding support on the dollar, on oil, or whatever, we find resistance, right? Or support, sorry. I sell, right? I pretty much say, today I'm committed to like the range trading. Trading in the side of the range, but not in the range, in the middle of the range. I'm looking more for the lower parts or the higher parts of the range, right? So either the highs or the lows. So I'm not saying it will not get there, because I'm in the short for the right reason. Otherwise, if I don't think we would come down further, I would already close my trade, right? But like entering from here, I don't know, man. Yeah. It's just crazy how long it's kind of holding and respecting. And the buy stop is literally right there. My stop loss is now in profit, literally right above that wick. And we never touched it so far. We might will though, but we haven't done it. I truly wonder if there are people that are actually understanding these ranges on the 1 minute time frame, and they take it to the 15 seconds or something, and they literally buy here and sell here consistently, constantly buy, sell, buy, whatever, right? Hi Lorenzo, can I make an AI which thinks like you and talks like you? I mean, that would be a bit freaky. I don't know if you want to listen to a half Dutch, half Italian AI yapper. Because I'm already annoying in person. Imagine me being in an AI format. That would be even nastier. Nasdaq bloodbath. Okay, let me see if that's really true. NQ, yes. Woof. Look at that 15-minute. Yeah. Damn. I wondered why the Nasdaq opened so bullish today. That was already a weird sign. Yeah, who knows, man? It's just the first candle. The Nasdaq is dropping. Gold is holding up. Where is that follow through? Yeah, okay, this time we're gonna go. Now we're gonna go. Now we're gonna go. We're gonna go out now. And boom. Squeeze. Oh. Wow. Israel attacked Iranian petrochemicals and oil prices jumped because of it. Okay, wow. Is this confirmed right now? Yeah, man, we're dealing with the war here. We're dealing with all kinds of stuff. It's unbelievable. The fact that we are profitably trading in these times here gives me a lot of confidence. I think we're gonna get out now. Yeah, come on, boom. Okay, how long did this took? This took, yeah, 2 hours. Literally 2 hours. We were ranging for 2 hours. Can you believe that? Wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's that then. Okay. That is then that. 1, 2. Now it's time for hopefully the real move. Alex says everyone is waiting for Trump. What is he actually? What time is he speaking today? Is it Trump speaking today? Trump speaks. Is Trump speaking today? That's the real question. Is Trump speaking today? $7 p.m. $7 p.m. Okay. What time? Okay. Okay. Anyways, yeah, man. So this could be that people are waiting for this right now, but again, I think trading this stuff was the best thing to do there. That's why when you guys, I don't know who actually asked me this question, but you were asking me about, is shorting now the right moment? Yeah, you see that? It's not, in my opinion, the right moment right now, because anything is possible in that range. Anything is possible, right? It's better to wait for extremes, especially if you're trading in a range like this right now. Let's clean it all up, right? This is like the range, pretty much. We're in a range right now. Let's say we are there, okay? Then selling now here, I prefer to like literally take these extremes and actually focus on the highs and the lows. All right, somewhere there, right? Get down towards areas of support and then just try to bounce trade. This also counts for the top, but then align it with the valuation. So if we can get down now and we actually still go for the lows, I'm still committed to buy. Because it seems that the dollar is just finding support right now. It's not really looking really weak. Yeah, it broke down, but it's not really looking weak right now, right? Oil just jumped. Look at the oil. Look at the oil going. Also not looking weak. Okay. The euro is in resistance. So it could be that gold just will follow up later again. And this is just a messy scenario right now. So I prefer to wait for gold to drop a bit more and then get into buys, because I think that if you can get that, it will be very nice. At least we'll see a bounce, and then I can see, okay, how can I manage the trade then? Is it possible for me to then, you know, manage it better? And there we go. We're dropping. So it's still not done yet, right? So I think the plan is still the same plan. Let's see how far we can take it. Like, waiting for Lorenzo to start the live stream. I love you, Lorenzo. Thank you, man. Thank you for the amazing content. Appreciate this, bro. I appreciate this. Yeah, I mean, we will be here every day. We'll make sure that we'll keep you guys updated regardless right now. Okay. I'm working on the vibes, the better music. Don't worry about that. What is something that you guys would be loving to see on the streams, you know? What is something that you guys will be... What do you guys want to see? That's the question here. You guys are liking it so far. You guys want something different here. Obviously, I trade futures, so that will not change because it helps with the footprint chart. I can still talk about the Xau chart as well, right? The spot chart. But just look at the candles, man. Right? Just look at the candles. If I place a limit order or whatever, just look at the candles. But for the rest, let me know. Let me know what you guys are willing to look for. I kind of like it so far, to be honest. But if there's something missing, let me know. I'm all ears. Pass a funded live. That's easy work. How do I know what positions you have open? I think you just missed it. Because you can see my entry here, right? My exit. You can also see my P&L on the screen. I trade within TradingView. Okay, the TradingView terminal. I thought it makes it a lot easier for you guys. Don't have to switch around platforms, terminals. Just trade within TradingView. I like it. It's actually quite good. It's actually better than I expected. I haven't been doing this a lot. Yeah, so sellers to control here, clearly. Sellers to control here. We couldn't break above it. Actually, kind of interesting how gold is still reacting here on the 15-minute. I could have actually still hold on to the trade, but I was like... and put it above there at the 47010. But then I would like... you know, then I would be like literally compromising on my my risk to reward ratio as well. So yeah, that's kind of... I could have maybe... put it above there and say the 15-minute is also a zone that I need to pay attention to. That 15-minute, you could say supply zone. Right? This is where sellers took control at 4705. It's a major level on the 15-minute. I could have placed it above there, but yeah, I mean, it can always be better, right? Every freaking time I'm like, should have done this better, should have done that better. It can always be better. I rarely, I'm gonna be honest, I rarely have the perfect trade. Do I make consistent money? Yes. I have been doing pretty well. Exponentially. However, can it be better? Can every individual trade be better? In most cases, I could be, yeah? Better exits, better management, for example. But this is work in progress. This is constantly trying what I'm trying to improve on. To be honest, before, when I started, right, it was always about, can I get into profit? Can I make money? Yo, what's happening, Po, Tin, Tao, Loi, Toy? Welcome. Now it's more about floating profits, right? Because there's nothing worse, man, and I'm telling you, there's nothing worse than being up $2,000 and then breaking even, for example. You know what I mean? That's something I don't like being up $2,000 and then breaking even, right? Things like that. Yeah, I didn't lose anything, or did I? That's the question. I kind of did, right? In theory. Because floating profits are profits. So yeah. Work in progress. Xavier says, don't change anything, bro. All in this #1 live stream for gold. What you have created here is the best community. LT concepts, incredibly insights to the market. Crazy. I love it, man. Yeah, man, download the book for free, I would say. Download this beautiful book and learn about my thought process. I also recommend you to go to page number 222, guys. Page number 222, which is, let me see, 222. You're gonna love this. Conquer trading biases, okay? Conquer trading biases, right here. Overcoming mental roadblocks, okay? Overcoming mental roadblocks. Super nice. Read about it. I read the first chapter, okay? The first paragraph. Let's be honest. These days, everyone is quick to say, it's my psychology. Wait 1 second, let me actually put on this sound for that. Let's be honest. These days, everyone is quick to say, it is my psychology. When they blow a trade, when they freeze up or revenge trade their way into drawdown, you recognize yourself in some of these biases we're going to cover. But here's the truth. Most traders do not want to hear. You can't blame your mind if you never build a real system to begin with. Psychology matters when all the underlying layers are already in place. That means having a working strategy, a proven risk model, consistent execution, and precise data tracking. And if you're missing any one of those, you don't have a psychology problem, you have a skill gap. Amen. $222, man. And if you're interested about learning about it and about the whole process of this macro framework, you could say, you can download the book. Links in the description. Download it for free, and you have access to the book as well. And it's an amazing book to learn from. I think it sums up everything up from risk to psychology to divine profile to some macro supply and demand, things like that. Okay? Trading war map, you get it for free. Anyways, guys, we are still in the range. I wish we could get somewhere and get into another trade. I really, really want to see that. News in 7 minutes. That's true. That is completely true. We have indeed the ISM non-manufacturing, some high impact red folder news around the dollar, the US dollar. So we have to wait and see if price reacts to that. Okay. Did you write it on your own? Yes, I did. I wrote the book on my own, but of course I worked together with a team to assemble the book, to organize it better, to review the text, to design it properly, right? So definitely thankful for my team at that time to work on the book and everything. Of course, this is something that you can never take away from them. And they're also in the book, mentioned in the book. Their names are also mentioned in the book. Because writing a 300-page book takes time. And writing it is one thing, but making it nice and assembling all the information and putting it together properly is even a lot more work. So if you understood why I wasn't streaming for 6 months at that time, now you understand why. Okay, we are clearly still in rejection mode here. Let's see where we are from a 50-minute standpoint. Let's just go to gold right now on the 50-minute. Let's mark out the session breaks. Let's take the previous day. The point of control is where we're reacting around. The value area high is where we got rejected from. This is the biggest reason why I took that trade. With the overvaluation. So the value high and the previous daily value high, okay, which is also in the book. You can find it on page number, I don't know exactly, it's probably page number 30-ish. Value high and its overvaluation against the dollar. So that was the reason for the short. And then the dollar was in support, etc., etc., etc. So yeah. That is still a very important level to pay attention to anyways. But yeah, I really hope we drop a bit further down, because buying in the middle here, I'm not a big fan of it. Leonidas says, I've lost a lot of money recently. I'm holding on to the scraps of my account. Should I invest more or just trade and build back slowly? That's a good question. Number one, you should ask yourself, why did you lose a lot of money recently? What is the thought process behind it? I think you should analyze this. Number one, find your discrepancies. Where did you fuck up? And then you should think, okay, is it better to now try to build back my account, or should I maybe try prop firms and get some payouts, right? And turn that into, or put that money back in the profitable payouts back into my account, right? And actually find a way to scale from there again. It all depends how much money you have left and what your risk tolerance is. So I can't give you a good answer of like, this is what you should do. But there are different ways. If it's too little to work with and you think it's not going to grow fast enough and it's too risky to go all in on a single trade, then you might have to get into the leverage place, right? And these are usually prop firms to start and kick it off with. But you're dealing then with rules that you have to take into account as well here. Yeah, I'm really trying to see if we can get to the London lows right now. We are constantly getting rejected here again. The 50-minute looks pretty strong. The 30-minute looks pretty strong. The hourly looks pretty strong. So shorting is not really something I'm interested in here. Yeah, this might push up higher actually. This might actually try to break higher. And will not maybe not get down there anymore. Especially if the dollar closes below this level here. But let's see what the news does. Yo, I appreciate it, G's. Thank you for the 117,000 subs. We're getting close to the 120. Appreciate this, man. I really, really do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the love. Almost at 500 likes. You guys are amazing here. I think tomorrow will be the bigger day though, because tomorrow is the regular trading market, the regular market hours, you could better say. All right, news, show me something. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty neutral. I mean, the ISM manufacturing is 70.7. That's pretty good actually. There was no forecast, but it's pretty good data, by the way. It's pretty positive. I can't believe this is gonna be lower. I think it should be better than forecast. So, and then this came out slightly worse. So I'm considered this to be more neutral, to be honest. Yeah. Definitely more neutral right now. Do you have a bird at home? I mean, there are thousands of birds flying around here. I found a bird in my pool a couple of days ago. So yeah, I do have birds flying around here, swimming in the pool as well. Yes. Yeah, to be honest, guys, I think the market is very, very low volume today. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat, please. What do you guys think? It's very low volume today. This is going to take some time. Major resistance on the 50-minute here again. Okay, this is a major zone. Look at this zone. I just want to make sure that you are aware of the fact you're going to find resistance right now. So if you're thinking about buying, be careful here. Be careful here. This is a major zone. A lot of sellers stepped in here. Look at that 143. Buyer stepped in here too, got trapped. Look at that huge red box. Okay. And if you just draw a zone here in that box on gold on 4714. And we pull back. We got rejected here right now, right? You see how we react in that? You see how we react in that level? Look at that. This is where the sellers come in. Right at these zones, right at these levels. Because they're protecting their zone, protecting their position here. It's an attractive price for them to sell at. The 4714. And you can see how price is now reacting to it. But it's risky because we have a lot of trapped sellers sitting below here. So unless you scalp it from absolutely 14 right to the 4698, that's like, how long is that? That's like the 14 to the 98. Like 15 points. then you have a chance to get in and get out. But like, very tight, man. That will be hyper scalping here. But if you see at this level right now, the footprints are, you see, like, yeah, it makes sense that we're getting rejected here, right? It's not really a surprise that we're getting rejected here. So we came up higher. Now we pushed in that resistance again. Now we're back in the range again on the lower time frame. And that means that we're now holding that resistance. And now the question is, was this just, let's say, a short-term lower time frame manipulation for the continuation to the downside, for example? And look at the dollar, right? The dollar is in resistance. How interesting. We're getting back to that zone on gold. And the dollar bounces from that support at that same moment. Makes the zone even more valid right here. So that means that if you have that zone right now in between like the 4714 and 4718, which is right here, and we close this 5-minute candle and we pull back to the 4705, which is right around here. Right there. Okay. Is that worth a short, a quick scalp? That's the question. It's a bit risky. But it might be like a good re-entry for me, you know? Like I got in there, I got out there. If you can now get in again there, I can still manage the trade and potentially still trade it down, because I'm buying back or selling higher again than where I closed my trade. The 4706 or the 4702. Or is it just gonna go now? User says gold for me has become untradeable. I'm seriously wondering if its structure has broken and if that's the plan to kick the retail traders out. To be honest, I think that gold is actually pretty tradable. I think it is tradable. I actually like it, to be honest. Yeah, it's not the crazy uptrend, the easy money. That's true. It's not like the China Asia session money, where you buy during Asia and you just hold on to the trade. It's not that money anymore. That's true. But it seems to me that, there is definitely opportunity every day. I think every day there is an opportunity. Every day there is a good trade. Yeah, not every New York session, but every day there is a good trading opportunity. I've seen it. I just have to be sharp as well here to get that trade, right? Throughout the day, not just the New York session, also throughout the rest of the day. But no, I can guarantee you, my friend, from my perspective, I think gold is tradable. It's very tradable. Yeah. Do you need to be a bit more patient? Yes. In these conditions, yes. I think so. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. But anyways, what did we do? We pretty much ranged, right? Right here. We then broke out. And then guess what? We took out the highs and then a lot of sellers came in. Right when it happened on the 50-minute, you could see that we tapped into a major area of resistance here. On the footprint chart. The 50-minute resistance. Major resistance here. Okay? It's pretty much this area. Right there. Okay? Right there. A bit higher actually. Roughly speaking, there. That's our resistance, right? This is on the footprint chart very, very clear. You saw this major seller stepping in. They're controlling price right now. What happened was when price stepped into that, a lot of sellers came in immediately. On the 5-minute, it's very, very clear. A lot of volume was traded on this 5-minute candle, on the top of that candle right there. At that time, the dollar tapped into 50-minute support and bounced, putting more pressure on gold. Oil is bullish, retesting the highs, finding support, putting more pressure on gold. The euro is in resistance, putting more pressure on gold. The 10-year yield is pushing higher. It's reacting, finding support. More pressure on gold. Why? Because if the yield goes up, it tends to be good for the dollar as well. Higher yield, more attractive to buy dollars. So right now, the short-term bias is bearish. The question is, where do you enter in this range? That's the real question. But at some point, we'll get to the lows, the London lows, the Asian lows. The question then is, what happens then, right? Is the dollar finding its resistance again? Is oil exhausted? Does oil reverse again? Because we clearly got rejected here beforehand. We are getting heavily rejected at the highs here, okay? Look at oil on the 4-hour. We're constantly getting rejected at these highs there on the 4-hour time frame. We will tap into that very, very soon again. If you get rejected there again, when the gold chart comes back down towards the London lows or the Asian lows, could we bounce again, right? So the question is, will this be a ranging scenario today? I think most likely, and I give it like a 70% chance we'll stay in the range. In this range. And we just have to trade the internals. But on the lower time frame, short term right now, I lean towards that bearish momentum. Boris says, difficult trading times create strong strategies and mindset. That's so true. That's so true. This is where you learn the most, guys. This is in the hardest, roughest market conditions. If you can find yourself to become profitable, or you can find yourself to create a process within this condition, and the condition becomes actually favorable, you're gonna absolutely crush it. What happens usually with guys, and tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right, you know when gold is ripping, you know, between August and December or something, gold was just absolutely ripping, right? Every day. You know how many people missed out on that opportunity, on these opportunities here? You know how many people missed out on this? Because they mentally were not ready for it. They were not prepared for it mentally. They started to get interested in gold when gold was already here. They missed out on this whole move, and then here they started to buy. And then guess what? We were nearing the top already, right? What if you develop your strategy in the times when things are rough, you optimize it properly, and you're waiting for the moment when gold makes its next leg up, which is automatically, in my opinion, according to this current market condition and also according to the overall macro economy, eventually gold will do this again. It will create that new next leg up again. You want to be prepared for that move here. You don't want to be the guy that's missing out on that move later okay? And the only way to get that done is for you to create a system here and to stick with one instrument. Trust me. In these market conditions, and I said it as well to my people around me, I said, you know, during these conditions right now, isolating yourself might be the best opportunity here. Isolating yourself with one instrument. Because if you can focus on one and you can master one instrument, then you can actually make some money still, and you're not getting screwed over by, you know, trading all these different instruments when these market conditions are so aggressive right now, right? Trump has to just take a shit, and gold drops 8%. Oil rises 9%. Okay, and we're stuck in the ranges. Okay. Lorenzo, did you expect this price action? To be honest, yes, I did. Yeah, I definitely expected this right now at the moment here. We're kind of observing right now the situation here. Where are we at? In terms of price action, right? For how long we're going to stay in this range here? What I'm going to do is very simple. I'm going to be, I'm giving a bit more time here. A little bit more time, see if we can get down there. Because I can see how, you know, gold is struggling. Because of the dollar being in that support tier. What I'm going to do regardless, I'm going to do a quick analysis rundown. I'm giving a full breakdown of what I'm going to do here. Because a lot of you guys have been taking these limit orders with me. And some of them played out very well. So we'll make sure that we go over this. Crackling says, my GG, I deposited again, so let's make it happen. Nice, man. What are we talking about? How much? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay. I honestly believe right now, let's take this to the footprint right now. Let's take this on the lower time frame here. Let's look at the daily volume so far. Let's compare that to the other days here. Okay? So looking at the footprint right now, and we go to the daily. Yeah, look at that, right? Look at that. Wow. Okay? I want to show you something here. Check this out. So you understand? You can put it in perspective, okay? So this was Thursday. Clearly there was no volume. Friday, clearly there was no volume traded, right? Only 11,000 contracts because the market was closed, right? So you cannot count this because it was like a holiday. Thursday, 175,000 contracts traded. Okay? Wednesday, 150,000 contracts traded. Tuesday, 172,000 contracts traded. And on Monday, 137,000 contracts traded. Okay? Right now, we are at 48,000 contracts. So it's significantly lower volume today. by default. This is why the footprint can help you on the daily, so with understanding the total amount of volume traded during the day, okay? And it's only at like 48K right now. Obviously, we know we still have like 8 hours to go here, but there is nowhere near us getting back towards these highs in terms of volume here. So it's a very low volume session here. We do expect price to pick up, right? Clearly, later on, tomorrow, for example, right? That would be the ideal case scenario. Okay. That's that. Anyways, guys, I think I'm just gonna do an analysis right now. What do you guys think? Because I think we're gonna just hover around the 5 minutes right here, and we're just gonna hover around pretty much. Okay. We might push higher, but we're just stuck in that exact range. I'm actually happy I made like, you know, whatever. Still a good trade here. And not take it completely for granted with trying to get into new trades right now at the moment, because look at what we're doing here on the chart. Like this is the flattest price actually you could imagine here. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. What do you guys think? Shall we do a big breakdown here? Tessie says, I made some money from the same trade. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, let's make that happen here. Let's go through it right now, because I want you to be super aware of what is happening on gold right now from a footprint standpoint, as well as the dollar, as well as the 4 hour time frame right now. I want to stay on the 4 hour because we already talked about the daily time frame, right? We already talked about the weekly. I think the 4 hour is where it's at right now with gold. I think this is gonna set the standard. It's the 4 hour, okay? So if you go to the 4 hour right now, we go to Goldie here. You can see that we're kind of ranging, right? We're not really pushing higher. We have this resistance here, and that resistance is actually sitting right there, okay? You can actually see this already. If you mark out that resistance right now on the 4 hour time, you can actually see very clearly that we are getting rejected there consistently right now, okay? And every time when we're trying to break above it, we actually broke down, okay? Now, at the same time, we're holding up at support as well here. That support is sitting like pretty much right below here. We have that support, roughly speaking, around there, okay? I'm just gonna mark out that zone here. We have that support. We actually had that resistance, that support. We broke down, we pulled back, we find support right there. So we're in between the range. That's why I'm saying today is like a ranging day, okay? Now, the reason why this was a good short, in my opinion, right here, was because of the fact that if we use the volume profile, okay, and we mark out the yesterday's range, or sorry, Friday's range or Thursday's range, right? Because the holidays, and we mark out the volume profile from the left to the right. We go here, forecasting, we go down, we go to the fixed range volume profile, and we click on it from the left to the right. So from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time, you can actually see that the value area high is where we got rejected at, right? So it's the higher time frame resistance, but it's also the previous daily value area high, okay? Now, this is an important level, okay? The 4727, which is roughly speaking the 4700 on gold spot, right? The CFD. right? Roughly speaking, 4,700. Makes sense. Psychological number. Okay? So that is a major zone here. And this is a zone that we got rejected at. Now, if you take that to the footprint chart on the 4-hour time frame, you can also see that we had that huge drop on a Thursday. Remember when gold dropped that hard? Right here, Trump tweeted something. No, it was not a tweet, sorry. Trump had his speech, and then Trump started speaking about Iran again, blah, blah, right? And gold dropped. Oil spiked 10%. Bitcoin dropped to 67,000. You name it, right? The yields went up, the dollar went up. Gold dropped, came down. The euro dropped, okay? Now, what's interesting, though, is, and this is super important to understand, is that in this 4-hour candle, most of the volume that was actually traded in this whole candle right here, it's a huge candle, a huge 4-hour candle, because this is where the drop occurred. Most of the volume was actually traded right here. This is what the actual chart does. This is what the footprint tells me. It tells me in that candle, between this low, okay, right here, and this high is where the most volume was traded. Does that make sense? So what do? I use this at my area of interest. I mark out a box right here because these are sellers that were active, right? Because it's red. If it's more buyers, it's green. What do? I mark out that box right there and I put it over and I say template, red, strong red zone. And I click on it and I wait. And what happens? Price reacts from it and it rejects. Sellers are coming in again and again. Buyers are coming in, but they're failing. Buyers are coming in, but they're failing. And sellers are coming in again. Do you see that? So what do I mean? What I'm trying to say here is that sellers were in control here. And this is the moment when we tapped into this. When sellers came back into this, I realized we closed below it. And this will most likely be resistance right now. Okay? And this is what you're seeing right here. All right? So I used the volume profile on the 15-minute time frame. And I entered my short position right there at the value area high. Because we utilize the volume profile. Right? We talk about this in our book. Right here. The volume profile section on page number 20 onwards. You can get it for free. And what I did was I entered this because there was one more element that was actually missing. And that was, how are we valued against the dollar? Because we know if the dollar is weak, gold tends to push up. If the dollar is strong, right? Right here, the dollar is strong and it pushes higher. Gold tends to drop lower. Look at that. Dollar pushed higher, gold dropped lower. Dollar was at support. And I use a tool for that called my stealth valuation index that I created. And you could see that we were overvalued against the dollar, right? And every time when we're overvalued, we tend to find the short-term top. Look how accurate this is right here. Short-term top, short-term top, short-term top, right? Short-term top, short-term top, right there. Short-term top. I hope you guys see what I mean here, okay? So if I put everything together and I sequence this and I follow the exact trading process and I repeat this exact system, I will become profitable. I will make money over time. I've been testing this long enough right now to showcase it to me that this shit works for real, okay? It's this exact process that I created and that I'm actually executing live on stream right now. This is what I'm doing on the live streams here, okay? So for that reason, for me right now, this is gonna help you with the next step. What are we doing from here, okay? And that is that if right now we are finally see a 4-hour closure above this area, specifically the 4725 on futures and the 4700 on spot, okay? I think that this is a bullish signal. I think that means that if we can close a candle above it, that will actually be continuing higher, okay? So what do I mean with this is, if we can close above, you could say, and I need to see exactly which level this is right here. I think it's the 25, right? 25, 26, yes. Right there, okay? If we can close above this, let's say above this area right now, I do believe it's not a fake out, okay? Because I think that the amount of times that we got rejected here already, and then actually closing a candle above this, I think that if this is a closure above, guys, I truly believe specifically an hourly closure or a 4-hour closure, then I think the chance is really big we'll revisit the highs here and we're gonna go for the previous weekly highs, okay? The previous weekly highs right there. That's the main thing I'm looking at right now as we go higher, if we break out of that range, okay? The previous weekly highs is then my target. Hope that makes sense. Hope you guys can still follow me right here. If price does the opposite and it gets rejected here again, let's take this to the hourly time frame, right? And we're getting rejected here again, okay? And we push down again here, then yeah, obviously I think that we might drop lower, okay? And then of course the main target is gonna be the previous daily value area low, because we're trading in the value area of yesterday, okay? This is all in the book. You take the previous daily range. If you're still within that, you have these two levels right there, okay? It could be that we drop lower. However, the point right now I'm trying to make is that we are right now, right, still relatively neutral. We're not overvalued and we're also not undervalued, okay? So that's the reason why I'm not willing to take a short position right now at this current moment again. Because if we're in the middle, it could be that we continue to go higher and we break out. It could also be that we get rejected. But I don't know for certain, right? I know that when we're overvalued, I have like an extremely high certainty that my short setup will play out when I combine this with the other factors of my strategy here, okay? So this is why I'm staying out of the short position. I'm not trying to get into it, okay? So this is why my intention was on the stream that if I get into my short before and I take it down and price gets to an area of interest and I get to an undervaluation, I will be looking to bounce and look for the buys and see if it could bounce and go back up again, okay? I hope that makes sense. If we break out, I'll wait for the pullback and I look for the continuation to the previous weekly highs. And that makes sense as well here, right? We're still trending upwards. We're creating internally higher highs and higher lows. If you create a new higher high, I simply would trade the higher low, okay? So I think that above that high, above the value high here, above this zone in the 4-hour that we talked about, we could look for the continuation. I think it's a valid continuation breakout play if you want to play that game, okay? If price comes down, great. We can always look for a buy lower, okay? But if that's the case, you want to at least make sure that the London lows or the Asian lows are taken out, right? You want to get some session liquidity out there. You want to see some manipulations there, right? You want to look for the reversal place right there, right? That is the idea for a potential long here, okay? Usually I would say I can short it right now. I'm not a big fan of it because we're dealing with a neutral stance around the valuation. But if we were there, I would have been shorting it like I did beforehand, okay? So I'm looking for buys, guys. I'm looking for buys. That's a conclusion. Either lower, okay? Lower below the London lows or the Asian lows, maximum at the previous daily very low, or the breakout, the retest, the continuation towards the previous weekly highs here, okay? It's all about value. It's all about the correlation against the dollar. And always, right? And this is something that I highly recommend you to do. If you trade gold and you want to really learn about the gold market, okay, then please understand that you want to learn about the actual market itself, okay? The market sentiment itself. You want to learn about this. And the reason why you want to learn about this is because everything is connected with each other right now. If Trump says something about oil and oil spikes, guess what's going to happen to gold? Most of the time, gold will drop. If oil spikes, the dollar will spike. It's very connected right now at the moment. For some reason, the dollar and oil are very connected, okay? I just want to make sure that you are fully aware of that. Look at the oil dropping here, boom. Look at the dollar dropping here, boom, okay? Look at the oil bottom here. Look at the dollar bottom here. Look at the oil top. Look at the dollar top. Learn about everything, combine it. So what I did, I created a watch list, the stream watch list. And it shows me exactly that. It shows me oil. It shows me Bitcoin. It shows me the euro. It shows me the dollar. It shows me the 10-year yield. So we're going to go through all of this over the next coming streams. I'm going to emphasize the importance of this so you can really get a good understanding of how this goes hand in hand and how you can turn that or help that with your overall trading process here, okay? So my goal is to highlight the emphasis of the gold hybrid trading system here. Gonna be very interesting on the streams. It's gonna be not everything. I can't explain everything on the streams. I just can't do this here. I need to work with you, like, you know, in a group in order to explain you, to give you all the tools and everything. But what I can do is to be there every day for you, to consistently show up, to show you the New York session, to showcase the best case scenario after the session and my expectations for the next day. That's the thing I can do here, and giving you these sneak peeks and insights consistently. And at the same time, you can also, of course, look at, you know, the live trading, and of course, as well at the book that I've created for you as well here, okay? So this is my overall analysis for today. I hope this makes sense. Do with whatever you do, what you want to do with this here. What I want to make sure is that you are fully aware of the fact that the volume today is very low, right? The amount of contracts are significantly lower than usual. We're talking about 50,000 contracts right now in comparison to the 175K, the 150K, the 170K a couple days ago. So significantly less contracts are executed at this current moment. So do take that in consideration here when trading today, okay? I do expect tomorrow being a bigger day, more volume, probably back to normal. If Trump does something crazy around the Strait of Hormuz, which he said he would do, according to his crazy tweet, yeah, then we have probably a crazy volatile day tomorrow. So we'll pay attention to this, all right? I think that's it for this session, guys. I'm going to keep it a bit shorter than usual here. I hope you guys like this overall analysis. And if you like the stream in general, then please smash up that like button. It helps me tremendously with growing the channel. What I want to do is I want to have a big impact on the trading industry. That's why I'm here on a day-to-day basis here. I've done hundreds of live streams already. I'm not done yet. I'm just getting warmed up right now. Okay, I'm loving this new format. I'm loving you guys. I'm loving the chat. And the sentiment has been absolutely unreal here, okay? Appreciate all of you guys. And that would help my channel grow tremendously, okay? Anyways, guys, let's get the music going. Let's end the stream strong. And tomorrow we'll be back at 8 a.m. EST, making sure that you are ready to rock and roll again with me, all right? Perfect. Let me see who is in the chat right now. Who has been watching till the end? Because you're the big G. Daniel Burger, thank you, my G. Damien, thank you. GJ Rabbit, thank you, man, for today. Appreciate it, brother. Crazy Invest, good to see you. Jorn. Trade Talks by Hari. I see you all the time. Thank you, man. Mindy, thank you. See you all the time. All right. Take care, guys. See you soon. Peace. See you tomorrow.